I want to read text message I sent to a buddy of mine concerning the war on Iraq and the World Trade Centers. This is definitely not a popular opinion. However, I know that there is some distrust out there concerning the whole thing. And another disclaimer would be to affirm that I am in no way minimizing the emotional trauma and the loss that came as a result of any of these events, of any of these interrelated events. I just want to go beyond that because we know for certain that there was emotional trauma. I just want to go beyond that and point out the uncertainty that should exist about the what, the why, the how, and the who actually went into it, because healthy skepticism is healthy. I will begin by reading the text message from the beginning to the end. The war on Iraq, I am unable to comment since I know nothing about it due to the complete mistrust I have for the only information sources that have told me anything about it. As far as the concept of the war almost everyone believes is taking place, all I can offer is speculation. War of attrition on guerrilla forces in hostile climate. When it is over, what will the administrative forces have control over? An experienced, steeled, nation-proud, obedient, well-equipped fighting force. A good question to ask will be, what will the administrative forces want at that time? As far as the necessity and morality of the war, supposedly a war on terror driven by a radical/extreme faith, I'm sorry, that is just too happy for me. We don't even remember what terror is. And the entire justification for the mass psychology of the war consistently goes back to something called 9/11, which most people dimly remember as something terrible they aren't supposed to joke about because the victims thereof will walk around the corner and blind the Joker with an icy patriotic stare. We don't know who, what, how, and why the events of 9/11 happened, except for what we have been told. I do know that even if what we have been told is true, it relieves me because it obviates the fact that the great enemy that did these dastardly deeds is one of the worst tacticians in history. It is not hard to hijack a plane now, and it certainly wasn't hard to hijack a plane in the 2001 environment prior to September. Once hijacked, any real terrorist with an agenda for destroying a country would not, to my understanding, destroy the World Trade Center. I might lose an argument over this one, but I have a lot of questions that I have never heard asked yet, much less answered yet. For example, if I was going to disrupt a nation's infrastructure, and capability to function internally, I would not implement psychological terror on the facets of their logistics that allowed exterior interaction, i.e. air travel. Nor would I actually destroy a facility that allowed for international leeching of an economy, i.e. the World Trade Center. Such actions could be seen as actually strengthening a national ability to function self-dependently and strengthen national pride and ardency. Bad plan. If I were the one doing it, I would disrupt the internal elements that allowed daily life to continue as usual. If a facility, such as a gas station, were to blow up with 20 cars and 50 people killed or wounded to tell the story, and it were to happen not because of a suicide bomber, but a planted item that could have been there for months, and a videotape was made available explaining that more gas stations were going to blow, and then they actually did, bingo. 20 gas stations nationwide in 1 month? nightmare, real nightmare. No national pride, no knee-jerk reaction screaming off with his head. Nothing but pure psychological terror and unbelievable stress on a fundamental gear of the working societal economy: petroleum utilization. It would plunge some elements into the Dark Ages. Now, if I, an untrained abstract observer, without a reason to terrorize a nation, can see that, why didn't someone who vehemently hates the nation